Hello and welcome to the Senior Design 2019-2020 Showcase. We are the Real Estate Analytics team and project for the Hoffman Strategy Group. The Hoffman Strategy Group is a boutique national real estate analytics and consulting firm, which means that they perform various types of analyses from market feasibility to master planning to property development for clients that include housing and office developers and managers, retailers and restaurants, and even cities and universities. And they answer questions such as the highest and best use for a parcel of property, or its optimal mix of uses and businesses. So if we start on the left, a potential analysis might be retail market feasibility. A client then might be a retailer such as Starbucks, and Starbucks might have a question along the lines of a market supportability of uses question. And a simple example would be, is this a good location for Starbucks? Our stakeholders and sponsors are Jerry Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Strategy Group, Dan Sheridan, who's a partner, and Jeffrey Green, who is a partner. We have been very fortunate that our sponsors are involved and interested in our project, which has really helped us to build the best solution possible for them. So our team ascribes to a new model this year called a sub-team model. What that means is that there's a sponsor-facing team that is the face of the project that meets with the Hoffman Strategy Group sponsors on a regular basis. And this team, which is my team, also subcontracts work to the internal team who completes the work and then gives it back to us, and then we give it back to Hoffman Strategy Group. So then on the sponsor-facing team, I'm Brooke. I'm the squad lead and product manager, and with me is John, our development manager and database architect, Jack, who is our solution architect, and Cheng Su and Duck, who are our other developers. Then on the internal team, Adrian is the product manager. He'll be speaking later in this presentation. Alec is the development manager, and Adam, Matt, and Sam are the other developers. So the problem that we're presented with is that Hoffman Strategy Group owns extensive data on supply and demand, population demographics, calculations that they've done, analyses that they've generated, but this data is not maintained in any standard way. In fact, for the most part, it's Excel workbooks on each of the partners' laptops, which means that it's a treasure hunt to find pertinent data. One partner might need some data that's stored on another partner's laptop, and they have to figure out who has the data and transfer it back and forth. So this makes it difficult, and then the calculations and reports that they create have to be performed manually and laboriously, which leads us to our opportunity, which is to create an online real estate analytics and report generation platform. So our goals for the data then are to aggregate, organize, store, search, and automate interactions with the data. Aggregating means that all this data that's stored on all these different partners' laptops, we want to be able to coalesce into one location, a cloud-based location where anyone who is authorized can view it and use it. We also want to organize the data. We want to transform it into a standard form, which means importing and parsing it from the Excel workbooks it comes from. We also want to store the data. We want to maintain it in a database, which is important for the search functionality, where we create features to match and filter the data by some parameters. For example, with the data that the Hoffman Strategy Group has collected on various cities where they've done studies, if they want to see where there's a high opportunity, a high demand for the automotive industry, they can set a high parameter for demand, and they can filter for those locations, those cities. We also want to automate the data. We want to generate automated client reports and spare the Hoffman Strategy sponsors from having to create those reports manually. We really just want to streamline all of their processes and enhance the value of their data. And now I'm going to turn it over to Adrian, who is going to be talking about the solution built.
Thanks, Brooke. My name is Adrian, and I am the PM for the internal team for Hoffman Strategy Group, and I'm going to be talking about the solution that we ended up building, as well as then giving a brief demo of that solution. So we created a web application that is cloud-based and hosted by AWS. It has a multitude of different abilities such as uploading, searching, and generating reports. Specifically talking about uploading, they're able to upload Excel sheets as well as manually enter data that is then saved into an S3 bucket in AWS. They're also able to download and upload various different types of files to that S3 bucket. For searching, they have two different options. They can either match or filter. Matching meaning they're finding specific instances of things within the saved data, and filtering, they can specify different ranges that they want to search through the data. So now I'm going to be giving a brief demo of the web application, starting with the login page. Here they're able to log in with credentials that we've created in AWS Cognito. And then this is going to take them to the home page where there's different sections of the app, including adding data, downloading data, searching through data, and generating the report. Starting with add data, I've gone ahead and inputted some just dummy data into this form where they're able to add a new retail project, and it takes them to this dashboard where they can do things such as adding locations, deleting locations, adding sublocations, adding industries, adding household segments, and various population data such as income, race and employment status, marital status, and other population and demographic characteristics. You notice that these two buttons are disabled, and that's because they both require at least one industry to be added. Like such. And now you're able to add opportunities or expenditure potentials and new retailers related to the project. Next, I'm going to go over downloading data. You have to select the type of project that you want to download data from, and then the name of the project, and then it pulls the files that are in the S3 bucket for that project, and you can go ahead and download as many as you'd like. And as you can see, a success message is shown. Next, let's go over generating a report. They're able to select what market they want to generate a report for, select any pictures that they want shown in the final report, select categories for that report, and then they're prompted to input data for those selected categories, such as recommended size, first year sales, and fifth year. From there, a report is generated with the project name, pictures shown from the report, and then the Excel sheet itself, which will have data generated for the report with formulas. Then they're able to download the report, which downloads it to their local machine, as well as saves it into the S3 bucket in PDF and Excel format. Moving on to the search pages, as you can see, they're able to search by opportunity gap, where they have to input all this information, and they can either choose to match or filter through this data. They also can search by prism segment, choosing different categories, and then inputting information for those categories, and that will take them to a results screen for those. And finally, searching by income housing, they can choose the different categories that they wish to input and enter upper and lower limits to those different categories. And that is the conclusion of the Hoffman Strategy Group Real Estate Analytics Senior Design Project. We want to thank our sponsors one last time, Jeffrey, Dan, and Jerry, for the opportunity and all their efforts throughout the year. They won't be able to speak this year due to circumstances, but we will be sending each of the sponsors their Token of Appreciation award. Thank you all for listening.